I'm here with Jill Ackers, and we are going to talk today about a Spanish immersion PBL elementary school that she has helped start in Dallas, Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, Texas. It's called Spanish House. Eventually there'll be K through 5, but right now it's preschool age 2 through kindergarten. And I'm going to give Jill a few moments here to introduce herself and talk about the school in general and just some things about it. So go ahead, Jill.
Hi. At the Spanish House we serve, our population is ages 2 through kindergarten, so we have a full project-based learning program in our early childhood, our preschool, as well as our elementary. Our elementary is currently an integrated or partially integrated model for PBL, which will eventually move to a fully integrated model. And then our preschool is a fully integrated project-based learning model. Our preschool is 100% Spanish immersion, and so the majority of our students are 75% of our students are native English speakers, and 25% of our students come from a mixed home, Spanish and English, or all Spanish background. And then in our elementary school, we are a dual language program. So in our kindergarten, we do all of our coursework, 90% of our coursework is in Spanish, and 10% of our coursework is in English. So currently all of our project-based learning work is done in Spanish, and our students receive 10% of English language arts. That way we're growing their early literacy and their pre-reading skills in both languages rather than just one language. And every year as we add grade levels up to 5th grade, we'll increase the English language by 10% until we're at a 50-50 dual language model.
Interesting. So if you would, I had no idea it was 75% English speakers. That's an interesting mix, and I'd like to explore that in a minute. But if you would kind of talk about your impetus behind getting involved in this and getting it started, and why you thought PBL was the way, and Spanish immersion was such an important part.
So my daughter went to a Spanish immersion preschool that was being a dual language speaker is relevant in our family. We have Spanish-speaking family members who do not speak English. So our daughter being able to communicate with her family members was very important to us. And then when it came time for our daughter to move into a kindergarten environment from preschool, we researched the schools in our areas, and my husband and I were very interested not only in the dual language, but really critical thinking, inquiry-based learning, project-based learning was our goal for our daughter's education, and so that critical thinking element is really important to us. And so we looked around in our neighborhood, both at the private schools as well as the public schools, and we found one dual language program, but it did not utilize an inquiry-based program. And so and then we couldn't find a project-based learning program in our area for elementary school that really truly focused on all the elements, so to speak, of project-based learning. And so I partnered with my daughter's preschool. I sat the owners down and said, I think that there's a need in our community for a project-based learning school as well as a dual language school that really sets our students up for that oral language development. And so we spent a year researching dual language schools in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, as well as we did research in Canadian schools on their French and English programs to really look at how we develop students' oral language and reading abilities in both languages. And then we spent a year really planning what the design of the elementary school would look like based on structures, processes, what it means to take teachers through the process of becoming a project-based learning teacher, and creating what we have at our school is a 3-year process to become what we would consider, a novice PBL teacher is really a 3-year process. And so any teacher that we hire comes in as a teacher's assistant, and they have to learn that PBL process. They have to learn about the oral language production process. So we do that for a year, and we train those teachers. before they can actually become a teacher in a classroom. And so that's for our preschool as well as our elementary school. And then we set it up, our class sizes are between 12 students and 14 students, and we have 2 teachers in every classroom. Because we felt part of really delivering an authentic learning experience for our students was developing an individualized learning program. And so with having 2 teachers in the room really gives us the ability to bring in speakers, work with students based on where they are within a project to move them forward at their own level, yet still pushing them out of their comfort zone so they're gaining new content mastery, the 21st century skills, and those pieces.